All right, it is that time of year again. Marathon training season is upon us. It's a time filled with excitement, big goals, and let's be totally honest, probably a healthy dose of dread. Whether this is your first one or you've lost count, you're about to start a pretty serious journey. And this is the image we all have burned into our brains, right? That moment of just absolute pure joy crossing the finish line. You've got the medal, you hear the crowds, and you just feel this overwhelming sense of, I actually did it. This is the glory moment. So I gotta ask, is this the picture you have in your head? Is this the moment that's gonna pull you out of your warm bed for all those early morning runs? Because for so many of us, this one single snapshot, that's the destination. And chasing that dream, that marathon finish line, it really does set you apart. It's a goal that just demands a totally different level of commitment. Let's just put this into perspective for a second. One coach, Adolfo Salguero, he points out that for about 99% of the population, the idea of voluntarily signing up for this kind of suffering is, well, it's completely unthinkable. The fact that you're even doing this puts you in a very, very small minority. But we all know that shiny, happy finish line photo, it doesn't even begin to tell the whole story. So let's get real for a minute and talk about the journey that happens behind all that glory, the reality of the grind. And man, this coach, he puts it pretty bluntly. He says for most people, marathon training is basically the equivalent of self-flagellation. And look, if we're not careful, that is exactly what it can feel like. Just a miserable process that goes straight to burnout. So the real key, is to just accept these things from day one. It is going to be hard. You are going to suffer a little bit. You will have to make sacrifices. Something at some point is probably going to hurt. And yes, you will absolutely question your own sanity. Okay, so how in the world do you navigate all of that without completely flaming out? Well, it all starts with the most important piece of the entire puzzle, finding your why. Think of it as your internal compass for this whole journey. This right here, this is the anchor for your entire training block. You chose this. Nobody is making you do it. Being able to connect every single tough workout back to those personal reasons that got you started in the first place, that's the secret to seeing it through. See, knowing your why is what gives you the power. It turns the grind into a personal journey. All of a sudden, a bad run isn't a failure anymore. It's just data. It's a chance to learn something and grow. You start to really own the process because you realize you're the one in control. So with your why locked in as your compass, how do you practically dodge that burnout? Let's break it down into two big buckets, your mindset and your body. First up, mindset. It is so easy to get completely obsessed with the numbers on your watch, but listen, your splits don't define the success of a session. Training is about a whole bunch of different stimuli. Just focus on the effort, learn what you can from every run, and trust that if you follow the process, the pace will eventually come. And honestly, this should be your mantra for the next few months. Life is gonna happen. You might miss a workout. Obsessing over it is just stressful and frankly useless. What really matters is the sum of your efforts over weeks and months. Consistency will always win out over a failed attempt at perfection. Okay, now for the body. These three pillars are totally non-negotiable. First, fuel. You are putting your body through a ton of stress. This is not the time to be in a calorie deficit. You need that energy to perform and to repair. Second, strength. This isn't just about big muscles. It's about building durability so you don't get injured. And third, recovery. Rest days and sleep, they aren't optional. That is literally when the fitness adaptations happen and you get stronger. So when you bring all of these pieces together, the goal itself starts to feel bigger. It's really about redefining what that finish line truly represents. It becomes so much more than just a single race. And please, through all of this, don't let the grind completely suck the joy out of it. Remember to have some fun. Run with your friends and laugh about how absolutely nuts you all are. Give yourself permission to have that beer after a long run. This whole journey is meant to be fulfilling, not just grueling. And that brings us right back to where we started, doesn't it? But now with a totally new perspective. That finish line photo is amazing, but the real achievement is so much deeper than what you can ever capture in an Instagram post. Here's the bottom line. The real victory isn't just crossing the finish line, it's the process, the purposeful, difficult, and transformative challenge of the training itself. That's what makes finally conquering those 26.2 miles so incredibly special. So we'll leave you with this question. It's not just about why you want to finish. It's about what, really deep down, makes this entire crazy, remarkable journey worth it for you.